Hi everybody, welcome back. Sorry for the lighting. It may look a little bit more darker than normal. I'm sure you can see everything. I'm actually doing this tutorial in the evening. I normally do everything in the morning and list them up for you to see, but I had some spare time. So I thought, you know what? I've set up my system, so I'm hoping that you can see everything nice and clear. I wanted to show you this pattern. I wonder if you can guess what it is. You probably can. But if you can't, I'll explain why I like it first. It's just gives it this, it's really soft. It's a very simple pattern. It's actually a single crochet stitch. And it's a 1 row repeat pattern. It's ideal for blankets and scarves because it's very soft. Now, those of you who do single crochet repetitive row, you know that it doesn't look like that because you flip the work over and what happens is that it almost looks like blocks of 2, whereas at the moment it's looking, there's 1 single crochet and that's the other single crochet. The reason why it looks this way is that there's 2 methods of doing single crochet. One is doing a single crochet across, turning your work over and doing a single crochet and working your piece up that way. The other way we use single crochet is when we do anything that requires a ribbing, like a rib beanie. We work into the back loops, so that ends up giving it a nice little rib to whatever we're doing, whether it's a cuff of a jumper or a cardigan, waist, or shoes, baby shoes. So this pattern, I actually love it. I think I might make a shawl in this because it's so soft and lacy. So this is a single crochet, but it's worked in the front loops. Every row is a front loop, and that's what makes you have this lovely little line, and also the real meshiness of the stitch. I think it's really pretty. So I'm going to show you how to do this. It's pretty straightforward if you know how to do single crochet, but for those beginners that would love to work a simple stitch, I'll show you how to do this one. So I'm just using DK yarn in a lovely pink, and what I'm going to do is recommends a 4mm, but I'm using a 5. That's what adds to the softness of the work as well. So let's start and I'll show you what we need to do. So make your slip knot and you make your chain. Actually, before we start, these are 15 chains and it's given me 14 single crochets. So on a DK yarn, lightweight number 3 and a 5mm crochet hook, we're looking at approximately 4 inches in width. So if you want to make a small piece, you can, and see with your tension how big your piece is, and then make a tiny little sample, and then you can go ahead and make a bigger project. Or if you don't knit really loosely and you don't have a lot of tension, or you don't knit so tight, crochet so tight, then you're good to go with this. So this is 15 stitches approximately, like I said, gave me 4 inches in width. So to make a baby blanket, which is approximately 28 inches, I've already calculated you need to chain up 105 stitches. Okay, it's an odd number. So you go ahead, and if you are making the baby blanket with this stitch, then go ahead and chain 105, and then we'll begin the pattern. I'm just going to do 15 just to show you an example. So okay, let's move that across, get some yarn. So the first row is just a single crochet, so put your hook into the second chain here and do a single crochet and do a single crochet all the way across. If you don't know how to do a single crochet, I have separate videos listed, but it literally is just going into the loop, pulling up into the stitch, pulling up a loop and pulling through 2. Go to the next one, pull up a loop and pull through 2. It's one of the most easiest stitches to do. Okay, that's your last one there. Now the beginning of every row and the end of every row you work into both loops. So chain 1 and go into both loops here, okay, and do your single crochet. Now, like I said to you before, we normally work through both loops and we'll continue making our single crochet project, or we use the back loops if we want to make a ribbed effect. But in this case, to get that laciness, we're just going into the front. So you've got the 2. If we turn our work over, there's both, there's your V. You want to go into just that there. Okay, so front loops only, double crochet along, and that adds to, can you see this little, if I pull the work, it's almost like it looks like a chain 1 spacing, but it isn't. We'll see it a bit more on the next row. So work along, front loops only. Make sure it's a front loop. If you do any one by accident, then it's just going to ruin the whole line. Of course, you can do this with any yarn and any hook size for whatever project you're making. I'm just showing you my sizing according to this. So we've got the last one there. Now we go through both. There's the V, yeah? Bit tricky there. Okay, see, you got both loops. So the end one is both loops. Chain 1, turn your work over, go into both loops again for the first one, and then you're back to your front loop, single crochet. And it really is as easy as that. It's a really easy pattern, and it looks really delicate and quite lacy. I often like to experiment what I can do with the normal standard stitches that we have, just to give an idea of how things will look. So you see we worked there, so can you see that already it looks like there's a spacing there? And then the last one here, through the 2, chain 1, flip your work over, go into the both, first single, and do your first single crochet, and then back to the front loops again. And it, like I said, it's easy as that. It's something that you can just, you don't need to require too much attention to. It's a great thing, you know, baby blankets and this will be so pretty. You can do it while you're doing multiple things. Of course, not reading a book, but watching TV, listening to the radio. And then there's your last one, go through both. Okay, chain 1. In the first one, go through both again. And then back to the front loops. So at the beginning of every row and the end of every row, it's a single crochet, but into both loops. And the remainder in the middle, front loops only. I do hope this video comes out. I can see myself through the camera. Looks clear enough, but let's see. If it doesn't work out, I'll do another one in the morning. And then there's your last one. Single crochet, chain 1, single crochet into both loops. And then the front again. I'll do a couple of more rows with you just to show you how this will turn out. And you can, like I said, you can make great scarves with these. Especially if you like a stripy type of scarf as well. Did I chain 1? Yes, I did. do this row and then I'll leave you to it. Okay. How pretty is that? So of course, if you're making, like I said, a baby blanket, you can put a lovely little border on the end. Hope you like this tutorial. Pretty straight and simple, but yet so effective. Thank you for watching and subscribing to my channel. Thanks to all my lovely viewers out there. Your support's been absolutely wonderful. And I'll see you on the next one.